Welcome to a very special episode of Brothers and Friends podcast. We are doing a series on Outlast The Jungle, Season 3 of the Outlast series. Welcome, brothers. How y'all doing?
What's up?
What up?
Josh, how you doing?
I'm alright. What's going on, man?
You ready to get into this jungleness?
I'm ready.
Let's go. Gary, what up?
What up? In the jungle, the mighty, mighty jungle.
Yup. Fred?
Jungle Boogie. I'm ready.
All right, Chris, you got a jungle word for us?
No, I don't. But C is for Charlie, and that's good enough for me.
Hey. Love to hear it. I decided that we would start this series off by reviewing the series Outlast The Jungle. This is a series that takes place on Netflix. It's about 16 strangers that are put in Panama on a remote island. And basically they're dropped there and they have to figure out how to survive. All of them have unique backgrounds, from NFL former player to alligator wrestler to FBI former agent. And so they all come with a special set of skills, and so that's what really makes them a valuable asset. And some of them may have some island training, or at least that's what they say they have. So the rules of the game is you must be on a team to win. You can be eliminated by flare. You can give up, or you can, if you leave your team, you can go to a different team, or you can be removed from your team, and you have 24 hours to join another team or flare out. And the prize is for $1 million to be divided amongst the team that wins. So depending on how many people are on your team, it depends on how much money you get. So the game starts off, all the people are on the beach, and then there's this airdrop. And they basically are informed that they're going to have to join a team. It's 3 different teams, and the teams are represented by shelter, fire, and hunting, right? They're informed like these are the tools that they'll have that'll best give them advantage to survive on the island. And so right off the bat, I think we talked about this before, but kind of where do we all stand with shelter, fire, and hunting? Who would have chosen shelter?
Well, yeah. Obviously, from my background, I'm Charlie Camp. I'm an inside bitch, man. I can't deal with the elements, so I'm going to need some shelter immediately. So my first instinct was to go for Charlie Camp, Team Shelter.
Okay. Anybody else for shelter?
I would have went for shelter too. I would like to, make sure that we were safe inside instead of, out and about, because I wouldn't know what to, build to make a shelter. So I would say shelter as well.
Okay. All right. What about fire? Who would have picked fire?
Yeah. So I'm going to pick fire. I know my initial thought, I think I was leaning towards weapons. But I decided to go with fire. I think because I'm a big fan of Naked and Afraid, and I've seen them build shelters on there. So I'm like, okay, I probably can kind of do a shelter, but like the issue is they always need something to start a fire. They always give them something to start a fire on Naked and Afraid, because that's the hardest thing to get going. So I would have joined Team Fire. You can see I got my little fire in the background. Team Bravo.
Okay, Bravo Camp. And Gary, would you have joined Team Alpha for hunting?
So I was torn between either the hunting or the fire. Probably would eventually, for the same reason that Fred said, a big fan of Naked and Afraid. And yeah, they do struggle making fire. So I thought having some fire will give you multiple advantages. But I also saying too, most people didn't tap out because of fire. They tapped out because they were hungry. So that's what made me lean more towards like the in the beginning towards hunting. But I probably would have chose fire.
Oh, cool. All right. So
Hold on,
Basically,
what about you?
so, oh, me. I think initially I would have chosen shelter, actually, just because I'm thinking we're in the rainforest. It's gonna rain, and I don't know what the shelter would actually entail. I know now, but I think initially I probably would have just picked shelter, just because I feel like there. I know that there's ways you can rub sticks together and start a fire. So I'm thinking, I mean, because they show on TV, like growing up, you can just rub two sticks together and eventually fire will start. I don't think that's
like,
actually what would happen. So my
I
lack
assume-
of actual nature knowledge would probably kill me quickly. But yeah, no, I would pick shelter.
I assume
What was you saying
like,
for-
fire was. I assume that fire was easy to start. Like that's easy. That's why I didn't pick fire initially. I'm like that's something easy to start. I don't need fire. I could just do that right away. That's initially what I thought. I didn't watch Negative Phrase. I don't know how hard it can be to build a fire.
It would depend upon your skill level, because even on Naked and Afraid, it was like there were people that was good at it and could literally rub the two sticks together and they knew what to do, and they had fire in 5 minutes, where it was other people, depending upon what environment you was on. If you was in a moist environment, where everything was kind of wet, or if it was raining a lot, then yeah, they struggled. So your skill level played a part in that too.
Yeah, for sure. So with the show, there aren't a ton of rules in how you can play this game, right? And so a lot of it is based on social skills, how you can communicate with people and the other teams, but also like how maybe ruthless you can be, right? Because this game it's set to really bring out maybe a ruthless side to a certain type of person. So like my question is that how would you play this game? Would you play the game, like would you try to play the game with integrity no matter what? Would you play it with like some ruthlessness, like if you're willing to like sneak over and steal supplies from another camp, or are you willing to just go to the Earth's crust and just be like dirty nasty, like stealing clothes, burning camps down so like they have no place to stay and live? Like how bad are you willing to get? Anybody?
I think I would play the game with integrity until somebody crossed me, and then I'll kind of go tit for tat. Just seeing some of the other Outlasts, I think it was Outlast Alaska, and just seeing how ruthless it can get, like where they actually were burning down people's camps and stealing like their supplies. I know that like when it comes to it, like people will do anything to survive, and especially when it's like that amount of money on the line. So like my initial response would be like I would play with integrity and kind of like everybody picked what they wanted. They picked their fire, they picked weapons, they picked shelter. We gonna play with what we got, and like I said, until somebody decide we ain't gonna play with integrity, and then it's like all right.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go too far as burning people, camps down or anything like that. I think that's going too far. But like I would, play smart, if that makes sense. I'd be very logical. I wouldn't, trade assets up, just because, like I will want the other team to suffer, but I wouldn't cause the suffering, but I would want you to.
That is an interesting question because it's a game, right? So I feel like if you're signing up for this game, you gotta. My competitive side is like, I'm signing up for a game. I'm signing up to win. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna win by any means necessary. And so I appreciated. I think it was a character on Bravo. I think I'm gonna look at her. Abby.
Abby
Which-
Abby is
yeah.
my favorite. Abby was my favorite character on the first episode. So
Me too. So
like, yeah.
in the first episode, yeah, she was like automatically thinking like she wants to set an alliance with Morgan. You know, she was trying to say like, you know, if it's
I'm not there yet,
between
yeah.
us, you know, like let's create this team, and so me and you are guaranteed. So she was already like eye on the prize. So she's already trying to create an alliance there. So I would have went that route, and you know, I already kind of would, you know, because you know, like the rule said, like you have to be on a team, so you automatically split in that million. So the most you can win is 500,000, and so you just doing the math now, like, you know, like if you add another person, now your winnings get smaller and smaller and smaller. So if you signing up for this competition, yeah, I feel like you got to go in it with a little morality, but you got to be competitive and win by any means necessary.
And I do have
I
a
feel
question,
that.
because when that happened, like, so I was kind of confused by that, because are you allowed to form your own team and they become like Delta automatically? Because I know they were
Yeah, I had that same question too.
So,
I
I'm
won't-
like, how'd they go just form their own team?
I mean, I guess you could, as long as there's at least 2 people. You can, I guess, but I don't. I mean, you would probably have like no supplies,
Wouldn't have it.
because
Right.
No
whatever
supplies,
camp you
right.
left, I don't know is gonna give you any supplies to take with you. I mean, I guess you could steal them if you want. I don't know. For me,
And-
like oh no, go ahead, Chris.
That brings up another point. Like, this is a reality show, so you know there's cameras on you, so you're being judged not just by, you know, your competitors, but you know your family and friends are going to judge you when they see these episodes. So you gotta have that in your back of your mind too. Like, how shiesty are you going to be?
I
for real?
don't.
Gary, what about you? Integrity versus ruthlessness. How would you?
Thanks.
How would you go?
Thanks, Josh. So for me, and I think similar to what Chris said, was I viewed it as it's a game and it's for $1 million. So you play the game like you playing for $1 million. So and it's a game. It's not a friendship quest. It's not a community thing. It's you play the game as the game flows. So if I need to be your friend, I'm gonna be your friend to get the $1 million. If I need to be your enemy, then I'll be your enemy to get the $1 million. If I need to be neutral and just be quiet and just, you know, don't ruffle any feathers, that's the way I treat, you know. So I'll be like the chameleon person that gives what the game is needed. But they say as long as the game, you had to be a team by the end of the game, but it could be a team as small as 2. So I kind of get why even one of the characters even, you know, tried to make a deal in that first episode with person. Yeah, just to kind of, you know, be like, all right, hey, if something go left, are you down with me? You know, we pick each other. So I would kind of be like that. I wouldn't have done it as soon as she did it, but I kind of would have laid back first and just scope the scenery. But yeah, I'm going to play the game with integrity, but as the game is needed.
Yeah. So let's break down the teams, and we'll start with Team Bravo, since we talked about Abby and the dynamics on that team, right? So on Team Bravo, which is the fire team, we have Sean, Marshall, Abby, Morgan, and Pharaoh.
Yeah.
And there was a 5th person, Mary,
6
or a sixth person, Mary. She ended up being the outlier of the group. So of each group, they're told that you can only have a maximum of 5 per team. And so with Mary, somehow she ended up being the outlier. And so but before we get to Mary, let's talk about Abby and Morgan, right? Because I felt like those two were really interesting, because you had Abby, who came into the game basically with the mindset like, I want to team up with another girl and like have an alliance with another girl. And since this team only has 2 girls on it, like Morgan was her only choice. And you have Morgan, who is a guy's girl, who sees herself as like, I really get along mostly with guys, not girls. And it's like completely shuts Abby down when she tries to like form an alliance with her, right? So, like, what do we think of that? Like, do we think that Abby, like, played too hard in the beginning? Because for me, like, I thought it was a good move to at least try to set out early and link up with this girl. But like, what do y'all think of like that play?
I thought it was a good play at that time. I didn't think it was too early for me. I thought that, I think if I'm not mistaken, the person that just got kicked off, right? They just kicked off Mary, so she was already kicked off. So at that point, but okay, can we link up so we don't, like they try to kick one of us off, we stand up for each other. So I understood why she did it. I understood, and I thought that was the perfect time to do it. Right after Mary got voted off, so like I definitely would have approached it that time as well.
Yeah, I agree with Josh. Like the challenge, that first challenge was just it was immediate. Like you had to vote somebody off, and I felt like Mary, she played herself. Like when you going around the right, you going around the circle, listing your skills.
Her skills were, I'm professionally homeless. Right, like I'm really good at being homeless.
And I've been to farmer. Yeah, I've been to farmer markets. I'm like, come on, Mary. So,
like I can pick out the best vegetables at the farmer's market.
That's too much integrity. Just too much integrity.
Yeah, like, I'm a lot. Like, if I'm in a position, I'm like, man, I know how to fish. I can start some fires. I can build a shelter.
Exactly.
I can hunt.
Exactly.
Like, you better
Y'all gonna have
lie.
to kick me. Y'all gonna have to kick me out when y'all see I can't do shit.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, she played herself. So yeah, I think it was right for Abby to go ahead and make an alliance because obviously like the competition's ramping up, people getting voted off. Yeah, so I think it was the right time.
So I think it was too soon, and I say that because I feel like she should have got to know because they've only been with each other, for that day,
2 or 3 days. 2 days.
Yeah. So they haven't gotten the time to like get to know each person individually because there's probably was somebody like I think what's the guy Marshall, like he might have been somebody better you could have linked up with, say hey if something goes wrong like can we be together. I understand she was doing it because of I guess she thought 2 girls together they might kick us off because we're girls, but she didn't get to know the team well enough to know like I might be better to like ask Pharaoh this or somebody else. So I think that's the reason why I think it was too soon. It's because she just didn't get to know her teammates well enough to know if somebody else was a better move. Because based off of like so far, Morgan probably is the worst person she could have asked.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think because they are Team Bravo, they have fire. So like they're doing really well so far, right? And I feel like it's a little too soon to decide. Like, because she came into the game deciding that she wanted to have an alliance with a girl instead of like aligning with someone who was best for her game. And I think like when you already have that mindset coming into the game, it won't play out well for you, because I understand wanting to make that alliance. Because I mean, I feel like if I were to go onto this show, I would probably say to myself, I want to align with somebody black or gay, just because like if we have the same interests, maybe we can like link up and look after each other all the way to the end. But also you've shown your hand, and Morgan now knows that you only wanted to one, create an alliance, and 2, it was just because you're a girl. So she may have shown her hand a little too early, but I don't know. We'll see about Team Bravo. But let's move on to Team Charlie, because that's where Mary tried to lead, or that's where Mary went next. After she was kicked off of Team Bravo because they didn't want her homeless skills, she went on over to Team Charlie. And Team Charlie is the shelter camp, right? They're given tarps, but the members of this team, I think, are the most dynamic of all of the characters on this show. So on this show, you have Sarah, who's known as Spazzy. You have Wes, who is the former NFL player, 36. And just so we name ages that I have written down, Spazzy is 25 and Wes is 36. That's important. And then you have Brett, Leah, and Braxton. Those are the 5. And now you have Mary, who now wants to join the team. And so, right off the bat, who do we think is going to do? Who do we like on Team Charlie?
So when Mary showed up, I appreciated Wes in this instance. He was already trying to like cause some dissent in the group, and was like trying to put it out there, like let's put it up for a vote, you know, because you could tell he wanted Spaz out of there. So I appreciated him actually, you know, wanting to call for a vote, but I felt like he backed down too early. So I appreciated Wes in that instance.
I seen Wes a little different in that situation. When it first came, that what's the name of the girl that came in? That was a six person out. Mary. When Mary came in, I think Wes just said, because everybody was like, "Well, we already got our 5," and nobody had like spoken up like who's the leader in this group or the spokesperson or whatever. So somebody was just like, "Well, we got our 5," so you know, people kind of were just like speaking up to make decisions. And Wes was like, "Well, wait a minute. Well, we can't. There is another option that, you know, the rules say, you know, we can deliberate and, you know, and take a vote." I thought he was just saying it like that, just saying it, because then he turned around and was like, "Well, you know, I'm with the group. I'm with our 5. I think our 5 is good. I'm just saying, you know," and I kind of identify with Wes a little bit because he's more of a I don't know what type of personality, but it's like A-type personality where it's like, don't tell me what to do, but we can all decide together though. You know, we can be fair, we can be, you know, but you know, if we gonna decide somebody's a leader, then that's that. But there's not gonna be one person running over anybody like that. So I think he kind of just was like, well, there's options here, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I actually looked up Wes a little bit. When they said he was an NFL player, so I kind of, you know, Googled to see. I'm like, man, what team do you play for, and, you know, what position? So I found out
The
he was
Raiders.
a tight end. He was a tight end. He played for a few different teams.
Okay.
And yeah, but he was suspended a lot because he broke the rules using performance enhancement drugs. Like on every team he was on, he basically like missed games at the beginning of the season because he was always got tested and was tested positive for performance enhancing drugs. So it's going to be interesting to see his story along the way during the episodes. But like, I don't know, like the powers are like it's teeter-tottering because I mean I'm not against Spaz. I'm like yeah, she talks too much. You know, it's whatever. But he's like, you know, but he's so dominant that he kind of, it's almost like he's the dad of that team because everybody else is so much younger.
Yeah. So let me set the scene for that. So Spazzy is okay. So Spazzy immediately knows that the team kind of wants her gone, by how they are considering picking up Mary when she comes over. And which, I mean, you know, because if they pick her, they'd have to let someone else go. And the team was not really shy about letting her know that it would possibly be Spazzy. But eventually, Spazzy and Wes get into like a back and forth, like almost immediately. And Wes says that, like, you know, he considers Sarah like the cancer of the team, and like they're really going back and forth. And during this exchange, like no one on the team really had Sarah's back. And to me, I thought that was striking just because like he was a man, like he's a man, like who is aggressively talking to this woman, like in a way that was like a little bit unnecessary, like just in like it to me it felt aggressive.
Are we at work? Are we in the jungle? I'm sorry, I got yeah. On this conversation, I'm like this. Okay, age don't have anything to do with this. It's more just I don't think I think it's more personality and the way you communicate. I think Spazzy, nobody told Spazzy that she was going to be the person. She already came in Spazzy because her name is Spazzy. So she did. If you're playing the game, one of the things in the game is you don't want to come off too strong, and you don't want to come off too weak, because either one of those two, you're in the sight of everybody, and you'll get kicked off. You see what I'm saying? Because somebody might be like, "You too strong, we're gonna kick you off. You too weak, we kick you off." Spazzy had a great work ethic because she has high energy, but at the same time, her mouth is getting her in trouble because she's but da 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 da, and you need to pick up this, and she's. I've worked with people like her too, where it's like you expect other people to have the same energy that you have, and it's like we don't work like that. So the whole thing is we gotta finish this thing with a team. So you gotta learn how to play within the team. So and then to your point of okay, nobody took up for her. It's like, okay, if you pick a fight with a lion, I'm not going to jump in. You shouldn't have picked a fight with a lion.
So we're talking about people, not lions, and I'm just saying, like we're talking about a person who's just aggressively talking to a girl. I mean, to me, it felt unnecessary. Did anybody else feel like his tone and how he approached?
No,
Spazzy
he mirror matched.
Gary, I'm not asking you. I'm asking everyone else. Did anybody else feel like it was aggressive? Did anybody else?
So I didn't, just because because he talked like that to everybody. Like he, you know, like I said, he was like the father of the team. So he talked like this, like, "Hey, Brett, you need to make sure, you know, hey, we got to get together and do." Like, so it was more so like, I think the
like
tone
a football
of his voice,
player.
it just seemed like it was natural to me. Like, that's just naturally how he talked. And like when he talked to her, it might have went up a little bit, but it was still within how he talked, just like a little higher pitch, like a dad. Like
yeah, yeah. If I was in this situation, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily call his demeanor aggressive yet. But like Gary said, like, you know, I'm thinking like as a competitor, like, I'm going to side with Wes if I'm one of the other two dudes, because I'm thinking this is a competition. He's got muscles. He's strong. I'm going to want to keep him on the team versus a person like Spaz.
Yeah, so I do think his tone could have been a little bit lower. I mean, I ain't going to say it was totally aggressive, but I feel like he could have lowered it a little bit. But at the same time, though, Sarah is annoying. And I'm like, I can't live with you 24/7 and you're like this. Like, this ain't work. I get to leave after 8 hours. This is all day, every night, every morning. You're annoying. Shut up. Like, I just couldn't live with her. Like, I couldn't do it with you. Like, you gotta go. Like, this is what it is. You're a great worker. She was a great worker, but you're just annoying. And like, I just couldn't. I'd flare out because you getting on my nerve. Like.
No, wait, hold on. Now, you would quit the game. You would quit the game because this person
I work with the game.
is annoying you?
I'm being too much. But she's
I'll switch teams.
She's a person like,
honestly,
I can't be in this.
At this point, at this point, I'd be switching teams. Like,
right, this is like day two, day when I'm
Absolutely.
already annoyed by you. Like,
Yeah.
you can't do this.
Absolutely.
You can't do this.
So my thing was there, like, so I don't think she was, like, to me, I didn't see her boss people around that much. It was just random things she would say that was annoying. So like, so it wasn't that annoying to me. It was just like she just talked too much. So I didn't see her like always going at Wes or at Brett like constantly. I mean, she had a few spats in there where she would ask him why he ain't doing something or blah blah blah. But most of her talking too much was just like, yeah, and I just picked up that branch over there. Y'all see a branch back home? It was a branch like this. It's almost like Finding Dory. She was like Finding Dory. She just was talking and didn't need to talk.
I know.
Yeah.
Hey, can
get
you
that
imagine
all
doing
day.
2 months of that? I know
All
you gotta
two
you gotta sit there
all
for 2
day, like,
months
no.
for that.
You can't do this.
So I saw that just a little bit differently. I didn't see her as innocent as y'all see her as innocent. So I seen what you was talking about, like she just randomly talking, right? Which is one of her nickname was Spazzy, right? Okay, but then also the way that she specifically talked to Wes is what set Wes off. Wes is more of a dominant personality, or I'm trying to refrain to using like dominant or whatever, because that kind of paints a picture. He's a straight shooter, so he's very direct. So if you're gonna talk to like a person like that, it's more or less like this. If y'all notice, anytime she talked to Wes, she would be like, "Hey, I did this over here. You and I gonna do this over there, bro?" What up, cuz?
Yeah,
Like,
if
you
I
ain't gonna
say
do that
bro.
there? So he,
Yeah,
so he
if I
tried to
say bro.
kindly tell her, like a direct person, is, hey, chill with all that bro stuff. Talk
He
to me
didn't
like
say
you
it
talk.
kindly, but sure.
I'm sorry. Was I talking? Was I talking? I'm sorry. I didn't interrupt
He
you.
did.
Okay. Thank you. So he was like, hey, can you chill with all that bro stuff? Because I'm summarizing. Chill with all that bro stuff. Can you talk to me just like a regular person? I'm just, you can ask me to do something. Don't tell me. So then she responds with trigger words like this for him. Trigger words for him. That's why I said it's a personality thing. Where she's like, bro, okay, what if you stop talking? I will let you talk. You ain't gonna let me do shit. You see what I'm saying? So their dynamic it was already off from the beginning because the way she talked at him, and he's a hothead already. So it's already them two was the two that's gonna be at it because everybody's annoyed already at her. But then the way that she's doing it with him, because trust me, when she talked to the other white guys and she talked to the other white girls, she didn't say bro and cuz and everything else. She only said it to Wes. So that was annoying Wes. I say that.
Yeah, like I didn't catch that, but like she only said to Wes, like you call me bro and cuz, like nah, you can't be doing that because I'm the only black guy in this group. You can't do that. So yeah, we would.
I mean, I don't.
I don't know. I didn't.
I didn't catch that. I don't know if
catch
she,
that,
because I think later on in the episodes when she goes to another camp, like I think she calls other people bro. But like
Nope.
I mean, if that's a trigger for him, that's a trigger, I guess.
No,
But
okay, and I don't
so-
want to play some. I don't want to play semantics, but I'm not saying he got mad because she said bro and cuz. It's the manner in which she said it to him. Like she's a little person talking aggressive to a big person. That's why I equated to you don't sit there and pick a fight with a lion. You see what I'm saying? And then expect somebody to come in because you looked like you was holding your own. You know what I mean? Because you was arguing back at him. It wasn't like he was just bro beating you. You was arguing back at him. Y'all were arguing.
Well,
So-
they were arguing with each other. One of which was because Sarah had seen Wes like laying out on the beach,
Yep.
kind of not working and not doing anything. Now, granted, I know it's a reality show, and so if they want to spin a narrative or they want to show you like Wes laying out on the beach, but they won't show you Sarah laying out on the beach. But when the argument happened, somebody did say, Sarah, you were out there too. And so like it was a thing where like these two personalities definitely should not stay together. And so I was pretty surprised when they decided to send Mary off with a hot coconut over to the Alpha team. But before we head over to the Alpha team, there was one other character on Team Charlie that I thought was interesting because she really sold herself as like this fire expert because she had hired like all of these people to teach her how to survive, right? We're talking about Leah, 26, makeup artist, has decided she's going to drop into the jungle. But before she came, she hired like people to teach her how to start fires, how to like live off the land, off the plants. Like she did all of this, right? And so like her one job that she was given was start a fire. And she struggles. They never make a fire. So
Did what Mary
my-
should have done.
yeah. But no, like I'm interested to see like how long Leah lasts because like I thought that was pretty disappointing, man. She really sold herself as this like, oh yeah, I can definitely do this. I can start a fire. Like I know how to do this, that, and the third. And she has one job and she's struggling to get it done, man. It was crazy. But moving on to Team Alpha, which was the hunting team. So this team consists of Maddie, 28. She's a photographer. Her skills are hunting, and that's about it. We got Dave, we got Ben, Hallie, and Nikki. Did anybody on Team Alpha really stand out to y'all?
I like
This
Matt
episode,
and
no.
didn't like Ben. I don't.
Yeah.
Ben,
You initially didn't like
Kind
Ben?
of cocky. I just didn't like
Yeah, I
it
didn't
because he
like
like I forgot what he worked at.
He was a
FBI
federal
or-
agent.
FBI,
Yeah,
an agent.
Former
Yeah,
Fed.
I'm a federal, and he kind of like talked like he was big stuff. So like I said, we're gonna see how it plays out. But I just didn't like like that initial, you know, pump up of his chest.
Nobody from that team didn't really do anything for me. Alpha, right? Nobody from that team didn't really do anything for me. It was just, I didn't
thought
have
obviously-
no way about him at first.
Obviously, I thought Hallie. I think she was a model, right? And so she was definitely picked for. Yeah, she was picked for her looks. I felt like she was the eye candy of the series, and so she stood out. And yeah, Maddie, I felt like her promoting like she was a hunter.
Master hunter.
Obviously, she's master, yeah, bow hunter. I thought she stood out too. So I think she should have been the leader, but because Ben was like, you know, kind of being alpha male there in the group, he kind of took the lead.
So I got two ways on this one. I agree with y'all on Ben. Yeah, Ben was kind of like the alpha male thing. And I think he played on like, okay, here's what I bring to the table. That's why y'all need to keep me type thing. But I'm like, the girls were very passive of that. Like nobody said it. If Ben said something, it was like, well, I'm gonna say all of this stuff on the side camera and to my teammate, but nobody said it to Ben. Like it's like they didn't challenge him at all. And I was thinking like, okay, they was just kind of waiting for, I guess maybe an opportunity or something. I don't know, but yeah, that's how I kind of looked at them. Like they, like kind of like what Josh said, they weren't kind of a factor because Ben kind of ran the whole team and everybody just let it happen.
So, you know how your first question was like, what would you do to stay in this game? I think this is another missed opportunity for Mary. You know, nighttime comes, she's doing some cuddles with.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and I feel like that was Mary's move.
That was another missed opportunity. You know,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure that she didn't actually try. So you know, Mary heads over to Team Alpha to see if they will take her on. Obviously, they are a team of 5, and so they're like, we don't really want a 6th person, but you can stay tonight. You know, we'll give you someplace warm to sleep. And so, you know, Mary decides to, I believe, use her feminine wiles. And she cuddles up with Ben for body heat.
Yeah.
And secure a spot. Right? Like she was Ben's blanket. And so basically, Mary got used for cuddles and then she gets kicked off. Right? Like, thank you. Like, Ben woke up the next morning like, you know what? Thank you. That was nice. I was warm. But yeah, it's time for you to go. And it was cold. It was cold like that. Like Ben was really cold for that one. He was cold.
So I'm gonna say Mary should have known that she won't get picked.
Thank you.
Like you going around like all teams are full. You think somebody gonna accept you in?
That's
At
why.
this point, you know.
That's when you gotta showcase your skills. You gotta showcase your skills.
But
If she would have started a fire.
She was homeless. She had no skills. So what? So you just gotta hope.
Hype yourself up. You gotta-
Been out there trying. Been out there trying.
You gotta be
Trying
right.
to, rub the two
Right.
sticks together.
Well, she
She wasn't
should
even trying.
if she had a made some fire, right.
She took those pellets from those fire maker things from B. She stole them and took it with you.
Yay.
That's what you gotta do. I'm like, all right,
Man.
you gonna kick me out? I'm gonna steal your stuff.
Yeah.
And then go to another team and offer.
That's smart.
Dad, look, if I'm here, you can take my stuff too. And now you got something to say.
I ain't even think about that.
Yeah. So Mary slipped again. See, she ain't using her brain. She ain't using her brain. She ain't really want to be in this show.
So because Team Alpha chose hunting as their perk or whatever, like they spent the night in the rain with no roof and no fire the first night, and they just got rained on. And that was the night that Mary was cuddling, and the next day she gets kicked off, right? So Ben goes out, and he is able to kill a seagull, shockingly. But they still don't have a fire on deck at all. And so Maddie decides, like, she wants to try and make a deal with Bravo team to exchange bows for fire. So they head over to Bravo camp. And Bravo played them like a fiddle. They're like, you know what? Come back tomorrow, and we'll have a decision for you. Not we'll give you we'll do the trade, but we'll come back with a decision tomorrow. Now, this bird that they've killed cannot last until tomorrow, so they are desperate.
Fridge.
Right, I can't throw this in the fridge for tomorrow. So it's like, so they're like, you know, I can't do that. We can't do that. So then Bravo team is like, okay, cool. Well then, we will allow you to bring that seagull here, cook it up. We eat half, and you can have the other half, and then we'll think about giving you some supplies.
Yeah, I thought
not
that
we
was
will, but we'll think about it.
I thought that
So-
was fine.
They was
10 people,
yeah, they was
one
sitting
bird.
pretty.
Here's my thing. Like my thing is, first of all, I agree with B. I would have did the same thing. Like, nah, no. And then their plan, their suggestion was actually smart. 'Cause first of all, I don't think they actually caught a seagull. Cause like if I was Team Alpha, I'd be like, you're that hungry, you're gonna go over there, you're gonna cook that for at least one day and eat, and show that hey, we can work together. So I don't think you really caught a seagull. I think you were just trying to brag and say, hey, yeah, we're doing good. We caught a seagull. We just need to know something. But so I'm thinking that they were lying about catching a seagull. Don't think they caught a seagull. But
No,
I do think
they did.
They
We
showed
They
it.
caught one.
showed
They,
it.
yeah, they actually
Oh.
showed
Yeah,
it.
they showed it. They was on the beach.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
Had
They
an arrow
were fine.
right through his
But
neck.
no, Ben was definitely flexing because he told him that information unnecessarily, unprovoked, unasked.
Right.
Like, oh yeah, we caught a goal, but you can't cook it, so you
Yeah.
you kill
So
the bird.
Why not go
and you
over
still
there
need me?
and cook and eat half of it? Like you're dumb for not
Well-
like so now y'all at least feed at least half my team, and at least show some type of like, hey, we're trying to work together and we give you half our food. So
Yeah, they
like,
should've took
like
that
if you
deal.
were
They should've-
trying
I just-
to be like this fair playground, then do that. I don't understand why they didn't take that offer. That was stupid to me.
I just don't think that their offer was good enough. I think they could have gave a better offer. If you're that good of you picked hunting for a reason. Give up the bird and say, "Hey, can I have one of your fire things for this bird? Y'all get to
Right,
eat.
or that,
We get
yeah.
fire." Or or like this. Hey, let me make one of them makeshift torches. Let me just get a light off y'all light. And then we'll keep that fire as long as we can keep it. You feel me?
Fire going
From the bird. Something else. I was like, they could have asked for something deeper.
So I thought that Gary, I thought that Bravo should have brought that up to him. Said like, hey, you give us your bird, we'll come over there and light your fire, and y'all just
Yeah.
got to keep it up.
Y'all just got to keep it up. That's fair.
But
You
we're
know what
not
I'm
gonna
saying?
give y'all our stuff. Like y'all just got to keep up this fire we light for you.
Yeah, because you hunters, so you can catch another bird if you caught this
I
one.
don't like that idea. I like the idea. You bring your food over here to me. We cook it, and we still think about it. So that way,
But you going to
still
eat
over
half
there.
of it, though.
Well, I'm saying,
That's
yeah,
crazy.
But I'm saying Bravo could have got a bow and arrow by just going to lighting their fire. If they fire would have went out from the rain, they would have been stuck. But we
Yeah.
still got a bow and arrow.
Yup.
So that means
But at this point, like Bravo, they weren't hungry. They was letting snakes
Yeah,
go.
I mean,
they
they
was
was
letting
good.
snakes go. They didn't
Well,
care.
they was only letting snakes go because of Pharaoh.
Because of Pharaoh.
Yeah, because Pharaoh.
But-
Which I'm sorry. Which to me, the way you if you talking about the way you play the game, dude, why you come into the jungle and this stuff like that and you don't eat snakes? Come on, like, no.
Yeah, I don't
Kill-
understand why you came here and you
like,
don't eat
come on.
reptiles. I'm like, you gonna only eat fish? That's all you want to eat.
Easy.
I mean,
Fish and
I'm
bugs.
alright with that because they do that on Naked and Afraid all the time. There's people that come in there and be like, I'm only gonna eat,
I'm a vegetarian.
berries
Yeah.
and coconut. Yeah. So I'm
Yeah,
okay
but
with
I'm
them,
not.
like,
I'm not
having-
coming on a Survivor series like limiting my food choices. Like,
No.
like I gotta eat what I gotta eat. Right? You can't service. Limit yourself on that.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's kind of where episode 1 ends off, with them at the point of trying to make this deal. And we're going to see like if they're going to close this deal or not. So that, fellas, was episode 1. How do we feel? Do we feel confident in the teams that we've chosen as to who we will win? Chris, are you confident Camp Charlie's going to take it home?
Nope. I would like to switch to Bravo Camp.
Yeah, after season 1, Bravo Camp like that. It looks
After-
episode 1.
Episode
It looks,
one.
Bravo Camp looks
Yeah.
strongest.
Bravo Camp. Okay. Fred, what about you?
I mean, I'm sticking with Bravo Camp. Like I said, but watching it, I know there's some shiesty business going on between the two ladies. Well, between one of the ladies. So, I would kind of question that if I knew that it took place.
Yeah. Gary, what about you?
Team Fire Nation right now because they hold all the cards, seemingly. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it seems right now that like fire is life here. So you need the fire. That's the team I'm going with. So that's where we're going to end it on here for episode 1 of Outlast the Jungle recap show. Thank you for joining and listening. We are out.
Woohoo! Peace.
Peace.
Thank you so much for listening to the Brothers and Friends podcast. Do you want to chime in on this week's topic? Well, leave us a comment for us to discuss on a future episode. But in the meantime, please follow us on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. Peace.